Hi there. Bernard and I are here to share some spooky storybooks with you tonight. So let's get started. But I promise, you won't be scared. Our first book is called Where's My Mummy? It's written by Carolyn Crimi with illustrations by John Matters and is published by Candlewick Press. On a deep, dark night in a deep, dark place, little baby Mummy did not want to go to bed. Just one more game of hide and shriek, he pleaded to Big Mama Mummy. Count your bandages while I hide. Well, little baby Mummy ran and hid and waited until, Mama Mummy, where are you? He looked over graves, he looked over tombs, but Big Mama Mummy was nowhere to be found. So he tromped, tromped, tromped to the deep, dark woods, the spookery woods, to look for Big Mama Mummy. He stopped and listened. Clank, clank, clank. Woo, boo, woo. Clank, clink, clue. Mama Mummy, is that you? But out of the woods clanked Bones. You're not my mummy. Bones was brushing his clickety-clackety teeth. Little baby Mummy, go to bed, he said. There are creatures that bite in the deep, dark night. And then he gurgled with goo. I'm not scared. Little baby Mummy tromped, tromped, tromped to the deep, dark swamp, the slithery swamp, to look for Big Mama Mummy. He stopped and he listened. Glug, glug, glip, glug, glug, glop, glug, glug, glue. Mama Mummy, is that you? But out of the swamp slid Glob. You're not my mummy. Glob shook his wiggly wobbly head. Oh, little baby Mummy, go to bed, he said. There are creatures that creep in the deep, dark night. And he washed the gunk off his ooey gooey face. I'm not scared, said little baby Mummy. And then little baby Mummy tromped, tromped, tromped to the deep, dark cave, the shivery cave, to look for Big Mama Mummy. He stopped and he listened. Flap, flip, flap, whap, whap, whoo, flap, flip, flew. Mama Mummy, is that you? But out of the cave whooshed Track. You're not my mummy. Drac flapped his flippy floppy wings. Oh, little baby Mummy, go to bed, he said. There are creatures that swoop in the deep, dark night. Then he scrubbed his long, pointy ears. I'm not scared. Little baby Mummy plunked down under a creaky, squeaky tree. Mama Mummy, where are you? He stopped and he listened. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Scritch, scratch, scritch. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Mama Mummy, are you there? But out of the tree popped a mouse. Help, Mama Mummy, I'm scared. I'm here, cried Big Mama Mummy. Then little baby Mummy and Big Mama Mummy tromped back home, where they brushed and combed and gargled and scrubbed. And then Big Mama Mummy wrapped little baby Mummy up tight, and he slept and he snored for the rest of the night. Wee, wee, wee. Snoo, snoo, snoo. Wee, wee, snoo. I'm glad he found his mummy. Aren't you? Well, there were 5 little mummies who were jumping on the bed. When one fell off, oh, he bumped his head. Now his mummy called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more mummies jumping on the bed." So 4 little mummies were jumping on the bed. One fell off and he bumped his head. So his mommy called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more mummies jumping on the bed." So then 3 little mummies were jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So his mommy called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more mummies jumping on the bed." So that means 2 little mummies were jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So his mommy called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more mummies jumping on the bed." So that leaves 1 little mummy who is jumping on the bed. When she fell off, oh, she bumped her head. So her mommy called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more mummies jumping on the bed." So there are no more mummies. So let's have another story. No mummies in it. This is a story about a teeny tiny woman. It's written and illustrated by Paul Galdone and published by Clarion Books. And its subtitle is A Ghost Story. Once upon a time, there was a teeny tiny woman who lived in a teeny tiny house in a teeny tiny village. Now one day, this teeny tiny woman put on her teeny tiny bonnet and stepped out of her teeny tiny house to take a teeny tiny walk. And when the teeny tiny woman had gone a teeny tiny way, she came to a teeny tiny gate. So the teeny tiny woman opened the teeny tiny gate and went into a teeny tiny churchyard. When the teeny tiny woman had gotten to the middle of the teeny tiny churchyard, well, she saw a teeny tiny bone on a teeny tiny grave. And the teeny tiny woman said to her teeny tiny self, "Why, this teeny tiny bone will make some teeny tiny soup for my teeny tiny supper." So the teeny tiny woman put the teeny tiny bone in her teeny tiny pocket and went home to her teeny tiny house. When the teeny tiny woman got back to her teeny tiny house, she was a teeny tiny bit tired, so she went upstairs to her teeny tiny bedroom. And then the teeny tiny woman got into her teeny tiny nightgown and put the teeny tiny bone into a teeny tiny cupboard. And then the teeny tiny woman climbed into her teeny tiny bed and went to sleep. But when the teeny tiny woman had been asleep for a teeny tiny time, she was awakened by a teeny tiny voice from the teeny tiny cupboard, and the voice said, "Give me my bone." Well, the teeny tiny woman was a teeny tiny bit frightened, so she hid her teeny tiny head under the teeny tiny covers and went to sleep again. And when the teeny tiny woman had been asleep again for a teeny tiny time, the teeny tiny voice from the teeny tiny cupboard again said, a teeny tiny bit louder, "Give me my bone." Well, this made the teeny tiny woman a teeny tiny bit more frightened, so she hid her teeny tiny head a teeny tiny bit further under the teeny tiny covers. When the teeny tiny woman had been asleep again for a teeny tiny time, the teeny tiny voice from the teeny tiny cupboard said again, a teeny tiny bit louder, "Give me my bone." Well, this made the teeny tiny woman a teeny tiny bit more frightened, so she stuck her teeny tiny head out of the teeny tiny covers and said in her biggest teeny tiny voice, "Take it." And after that, She put her teeny tiny head back under the teeny tiny covers, and all was quiet. I guessed whoever wanted it took that bone and left. Well, I know if I heard a voice talking to me from the cupboard, I'd be shaking in my bones. So can you shake, shake, shake your sillies out, shake, shake, shake your sillies out, shake, shake, shake your sillies out, and wiggle your waggles away. And can you clap, clap, clap your crazies out, clap, clap, clap your crazies out, clap, clap, clap your crazies out, and wiggle your waggles away. Can you stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out, stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out, stretch, stretch, stretch your stretchies out, and wiggle your waggles away. Can you stand up so that you can jump, jump, jump your jiggles out, jump, jump, jump your jiggles out, jump, jump, jump your jiggles out, and wiggle your waggles away. Can you yawn? Yawn your sleepies out, yawn. Yawn your sleepies out, yawn. Yawn your sleepies out, and wiggle your waggles away. Can you shake, shake, shake your sillies out, shake, shake, shake your sillies out, shake, shake, shake your sillies out, and wiggle your waggles away. And wiggle yourselves all nice and comfy to hear a story about not one, not two, but about 3 little ghosties. This story is written by Pippa Goodhart and illustrated by Anna Laura Cantone. And who publishes it? Why, Bloomsbury Books. And there they are. 1, 2, 3. 3 little ghosties sat on their posties, eating burnt toasties and telling big boasties. Said ghostie number 1, I went to scare ghoulsies, sitting in their schoolsies, learning spelling rulesies. And I went, ooh, 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 boo. And they all dropped their booksies with silly, frightened looksies, and then they ran away home to bed. Laughed the 3 little ghosties, still eating toasties. Well, said ghostie number 2, I scared some mean witches sitting in dark ditches, lipsticking their lipses, plotting evil trickses. I went clank, clank, shiver, shake, boo. Well, then they jumped with the frighties and flew off in their nighties to hide in the deep, dark wood. Laughed the 3 little ghosties. And yes, they're still eating toasties. Ghostie number 3 said, I scared a huge ogre as big as 6 treesies, standing in the breezes, picking at his fleeces. I spooked him with a moan, groan, boo! And he galumphed through the woodses the fastest that he could. I want my mommy, he said. Hee, laughed the 3 little ghosties. Still eating toasties. Then the 3 little ghosties, all sitting on their posties, had finished their burnt toasties. Said ghostie number 1, now, what shall we do for a bit of fun? Let's go haunting and scare some girlsies. Yeah, and boyses too. So they flew off their posties and came wailing, sailing, flailing down to my house. Ooh, Ooh, ooh. And they ghosty slid through the window cracksies and creak pushed open my door. Well, they thought I was asleep, so they started to creep. Creepy, creepy, whisper, whisper, closer, closer. They opened their mouths, and I sat up and shouted, "Boo!" "Help!" cried the ghosties. They tumble-tangled fled out of my bedroom and into the night. Quivering like jellies, those three little ghosties wobbled to their posties, sucking on their thumbsies and waiting for their mumsies, who came and caught and scolded them and sent them home to bed. So I hope those three little ghosties won't bother anyone again. Well, should we do another finger play? I've got 5 little pumpkins who are sitting on the gate. Now the first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." The third one said, "We don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." The fifth one said, "Woo-hoo, we'll have lots of fun." But then, ooh, went the wind, and out went the light, and the 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. Well, have you ever lost your voice? It comes back, right? But what would happen if you were a little ghost who lost your voice and you couldn't say boo? The name of this book is The Little Ghost Who Lost Her Boo. It's written by Elaine Pickel and illustrated by Raymond McGrath, and is published by Philomel Books. Little Ghost went out in the middle of the night and flew up to someone to give them a fright. She got in position, arms up, all prepared. Wait for it, lady. Oh, you're gonna be scared. So she opened her mouth, but her boo wasn't there. All that came out was a rush of cold air. "I've lost my boo. Oh, I've lost my boo. Where has it gone? Oh, what will I do?" Mama Ghost said, "Oh, my poor little one, it looks as though your fright nights are done." "I'll find it," said Little Ghost, and off she flew, looking and listening for her scary boo. Then she heard a noise in the dark, dark trees. "Can that be my boo? Oh, let it be, please." "Ooh, ooh." But it wasn't a boo, but a hoo, hoo, hoo. And down flew Owl. "Oh, Owl, it's you. I wonder, can you help me? I'm looking for my boo." "I'm sorry, Little Ghost, but I can't help you. I've been out all night and had a tasty bite or two. And while I was hunting, I didn't hear a boo. Would you like to borrow my hoo, hoo, hoo?" "Oh, thank you, Owl. It's perfect for you, but it's just not as scary as my ghostly boo." Then from far above came a noise in a tree. "That's my boo. It belongs to me. Coo, coo." It was not a boo, but just a gentle coo. "Oh, hello, pigeon. I'm glad it's you. I wonder, can you help me? I'm looking for my boo. Coo, coo, coo." "Oh, I'm sorry, Little Ghost, but I can't help you. I woke up extra early to enjoy the starry view, and while I was looking, I didn't hear a boo. Would you like to borrow my own gentle coo?" "Thank you, pigeon. It's perfect for you, but it's just not as scary as my ghostly boo." As the first light of day began to show, the tiny ghost heard a rooster crow. "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" Oh, hello, Rooster. It's nice to see you. I wonder, can you help me? I'm looking for my boo. Oh, I'm sorry, little ghost, but I can't help you. I only just got up as the day was really new, and I'm about to wake the world with a cock-a-doodle-doo. Why don't you join me? Can you try it too? Cock-a-doodle-doo! Thank you, Rooster. It's perfect for you, but it's just not as scary as my ghostly boo. Little Ghost was sad as up and off she flew, heading for her home without her precious boo. She'd asked all her friends and she'd looked everywhere, and she knew without a boo there was no one she could scare. But then Little Ghost heard what sounded like a boo. She flew a little closer and then knew it was a moo. Oh, hello, cow. Of course it's you. I wonder, can you help me? I'm looking for my boo. I'm sorry, little ghost, but I can't help you. After being milked, I found some grass to chew, and not once this morning have I heard a boo. Though I have something similar, why don't you try my moo? Moo. It's close, said Little Ghost, but it just won't do. Even though it's similar and perfect for you, it's just not as scary as my ghostly boo. So Little Ghost went home, as sad as can be, and then she looked up and, now what did she see? She saw the reader. Yes, she saw you. Can you help Little Ghost find her boo? Come on now. It's up to you. Let me hear you shout out. Boo! Oh, yes, that's it. That will do. That is such a scary boo. You did it. You found it. High five. And big thank you. And with that wonderful scary boo, away that little ghost happily flew. Thank you for helping him find his boo. What was it doing at your house, I wonder? I don't know. Well, when you go trick-or-treating, you might find that somebody will give you some bubble gum. And what you'll do is you'll unwrap it. And if Mom and Dad said it was okay to chew it, well, you'd pop it in your mouth and chew it up until it's all soft and squishy, just like this. Are you doing yours? And then you probably wouldn't do this, but this is pretend gum, so I'm going to put my hand out and spit my gum into it. Oh, that's disgusting, isn't it? And then I'm going to clap my other hand on top. And now my hands are stuck together with sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your nose. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your arm. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your chin. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your back. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your cheek. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on Mom or Dad. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum. Time to throw it in the trash. Well, I think we have one more book before we have our flannel board, and this is called Ghost House. It's written by Ammi-Joan Paquette and illustrated by Adam Record. And this, like our first book, is published by Candlewick Press. I see a creaky old house. Do you hear the creaks? Boo! There's a ghost in the house, in the creepy haunted house on this dark spooky night, all alone. And as he goes slip slide with a swoop and a glide until he suddenly hears a groan. Now a mummy makes two in the house, in the creepy haunted house on this dark spooky night on the prowl. And they shuffle around without even a sound until suddenly they hear a growl. Grrr. And a monster makes three in the house, in the creepy haunted house on this dark spooky night, midnight black. And they creep and crawl down the echoing hall until suddenly they hear click clack. And a skeleton makes four in the house, in the creepy haunted house on this dark spooky night, cold and bleak. And they stagger and stomp in a spine-chilling romp until suddenly they heard a shriek. And a witch makes five in the house, in the creepy haunted house on this dark spooky night, best beware. Then a sudden flash makes them topple and crash, and suddenly they hear, "Who's there?" There's a boy in the house, in the creepy haunted house on this dark spooky night. What a fright! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the creatures run, 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 leaving him alone to say, good night. Were you scared? All right, can you wiggle your fingers and your toes, your shoulders? How about your nose? Can you wiggle your elbows and slap your knees and stretch out your arms and get ready, please, because we're going to have a little bit of spooking on our flannel board. Now, this is a story called Too Much Noise on Halloween Night. Now, once upon a time, on All Hallows Eve, which means the eve of Halloween, Witch Gwendolyn was in her home making her famous witch's brew. Now, she put in all the best thing like eye of newt, scale of fish, hair of dog, web of spider, and of course, wing of bat. And after stirring all the ingredients in her cauldron, why, she left it boiling and she went to bed. And through the night, that cauldron kept bubbling, 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 going blub, blub, blub. And it was so loud that Gwendolyn couldn't sleep. So she got out of bed and she went to the forest where she could talk to the wisest animal around, Oliver the owl. She knocked on his tree and she said, "Oliver, Oliver, my cauldron is bubbling and I can't sleep. What should I do?" He said, "Why, bring in a ghost, of course." So Gwendolyn went back home and brought in a ghost. And now, well, she was just about to climb into bed and fall asleep when she heard the cauldron bubbling, blub, 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 and the ghost flying, whoo, whoo. And Gwendolyn couldn't sleep. So she got out of bed and she went back to Oliver's tree. She knocked on the tree. Oliver, Oliver, it's me, Gwendolyn, and I still can't sleep. It's too noisy at that house. And Oliver told her to get a cat. So she got a cat. Should we have the cat in bed with her? Or maybe sitting on top of the bed? And she pulled up the covers. And she was about to go to sleep when she heard, she heard that cauldron bubbling, blub, blub, blub. And she heard that ghost wailing, whoo. And she heard that cat meowing, meow. And she could not sleep. So she threw off the covers and went back to Oliver's tree and knocked on it. "Who's there?" said Oliver. "It's me, Gwendolyn, and I still can't sleep." "Ah," he said, "well, bring in a skeleton." "Skeleton, smeleton," she said, but she brought in a skeleton. And that skeleton, when she pulled up the covers, she could hear him. That skeleton was rattling, rattle, rattle, crack, crack. And the cat was mauling, meow. And the ghost was wailing, woo. And the cauldron was going blub, blub, blub. And what do you think? She could not sleep, so she threw off the covers. And she went back to that tree and she banged on it. "Oliver, Oliver!" And he said, "Who's there?" "It's me, Gwendolyn, and I still can't sleep. What should I do?" Well, he told her to get a witch to join her in her house. What good is a witch, thought Gwendolyn. Well, she came in and she brought that witch in with her. And she was about to go to sleep when, she heard all that noise. She heard the witch going, hee, and she heard the cat go, meow, and she heard the skeleton going clank, 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 and she heard the ghost going, ooh, and the cauldron was going blub, blub, blub. Could she sleep? No way. So Gwendolyn stomped back to Oliver's tree and she banged on the tree and she said, "Oliver, Oliver!" "Who's there?" he said. "Oh, Oliver, you know it's me, Gwendolyn, and I still can't sleep. None of those things helped." He said, "then maybe you should send them all away." Well, Gwendolyn went back and she thought about it. But how was she going to get rid of all of those animals and creatures and things? Well, she was very smart. She knew that she had been making a very special brew and it would do the trick. So she gave some brew to the witch and she gave some brew to the cat. She gave some brew to the skeleton. She gave some brew to the ghost. Don't spill it. And one by one, they ate the brew. And one by one, poof, 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 they disappeared. Gwendolyn took what was left of the brew and put it in the refrigerator. And then she climbed into bed and she pulled up her covers. I don't know where it went. It's down there somewhere. But it was a warm night, so she didn't even need her covers. And Gwendolyn was just about to fall asleep when what should appear outside her window? But the sun. She had been up all night with those noises. Oh, so poor Gwendolyn never got her beauty rest. And that's why she looked extra wicked on Halloween night. Well, we always finish with a Sandra Boynton book, and I found a Halloween one for us tonight. So this is called Boo, Ba, La, La, La. It's published by Little Simon. On Halloween, the cow says, boo. She likes that word. It's something new. Boo, she calls into the night. Ba, says someone out of sight. Who might it be that answered me? Pig, duck, chicken, sheep? Again she calls into the air, boo! And again a baa from who knows where. Now all around more voices rise, and sound on sound fill up the skies, and then fades. On Halloween, the cow climbs high by pumpkin glow and moonlit sky. She stands atop the tallest hill, and she calls out, boo! And suddenly comes one long boo! That's Happy Halloween to you. And la la la, that's the end. So those are our spooky stories for tonight. And Bernard and I will see you another time when it's not quite so spooky out. Thanks for watching.